How's it going, guys?
Good.
Morning.
Good. Welcome to the podcast, listeners. Today is our first ever video multicam podcast, which I'm extremely excited about. For anyone who knows me or has been around the office while setting this up will be well aware of the fact that this was a wildly underestimated endeavour to undertake.
Yeah, a long time in the making.
But here we are. It's here. We're running. Today on the podcast, guys, I've got Joe. Joe is a digital marketing specialist that works here at Australian Internet Advertising and is kicking some huge goals, can offer some great insights into the kinds of problems businesses are facing in relation to digital marketing today. I've got Wade, our podcast operator, in-house videographer, and all-round creative genius.
What up?
What up, yo? And then we've got Ilan. Ilan is a marketing magnate. He just, everything he does turns to gold. He helps businesses, e-commerce and otherwise, come up with offers, increase conversion rates, and smash sales records, basically.
That sounds
Welcome,
like a pretty
Ilan.
good intro. Thank you, Billy.
No worries, mate. So before we begin, has anyone got any burning desire to get anything off their chest? Is there any hot topics that you think we should bring up prior to diving in? Maybe, some childhood issues or...
we can talk about that. I was going to say Black Friday is around the corner.
Black Friday's
around
around. That's huge,
some
man.
hot tips for e-commerce
we have
businesses
to
out there.
touch on that. We have to touch on that. Black Friday's massive, right? Would you agree?
Absolutely.
What's the date on Black Friday?
The date on Black Friday is...
26 Black Friday, Cyber Monday 29th.
Righto. Pretty soon.
And then just Christmas. Get in before the shipping
What
deadlines.
What are the origins of these capitalist holidays?
Black Friday is from America.
Yes.
It's been there for a long time, traditionally more like a retail event.
Yep.
But like a lot of things, it's found its way to Australia.
Yep.
Thank you, America.
Yes, Halloween,
Giving us so
Halloween
much.
and Black Friday.
The origins are people needing to spend more money and people needing to make more money, generally speaking. But the fact is, it works. That's kind of like the important part.
Yes.
Everybody loves a deal.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, Joe, let's over to you, mate. You've been taking inbound inquiries here for a while now from business owners for quite a while.
Mm-hmm.
And what do you think are the prevailing kind of questions business owners have or problems that they're trying to solve that come through in these calls?
What an expansive question.
Tough question.
Yeah. Let me just draw that down into just 2 sentences.
Yeah, let's do it.
No, I think there's a range of reasons, right? I mean, we've all got our own intrinsic motivations and what it is that we're looking for, and especially when you put an inquiry into a business like ours, you're typically looking for a range of solutions to problems. A lot of our customers or the inquiries that we receive, they're from people who've worked with agencies in the past. Potentially they've been running their business for 5 up to 50 years, right? So they've got a lot of good experience historically, and they know what we do a lot of the time. Digital marketing is a pretty
Established
thing. People know what it is. You've got a really good understanding that you can track everything, that it's all really, visible in terms of what's happening. Ogilvy said, I know that half my marketing works, I just don't know what half, right? When we were running TV and radio and had no idea, but that is gone. That's a thing of the past. So for a lot of people, it really comes down to 2 things for me, from my experience, and it's communication and results. And they are not mutually exclusive. You need to be getting both, right? You can be getting some of the best results out there, but if you don't have that communication, if you're not getting an understanding as to what it is that your creative team, your digital agency is doing, then it's not really worth anything. And I've heard a stat that says if you ignore your customer for 90 days, or you're not in contact with them for 90 days, they literally forget that you exist. Right. So it really is important, not just from customer point of view, but from an agency point of view as well, to be really, really clear in that communication, really strong in what you're doing in terms of understanding what you're seeing in the market, in terms of what is happening.
It's important too, if you've got a service or a product that's differentiated,
yes,
to be able to communicate what it is about your service or product that makes it better, not only to the agency so that they can put the marketing material together and the ads together that communicate that to the marketplace.
Well, that's right. And it's a relationship, and it should have all the hallmarks of a relationship. It should be that we know, we understand what you're seeing in your business, so that we can make informed decisions in terms of the marketing that we're doing. You should be able to have that conversation with us where we're able to tell you what's happening in your market, because we can see. We can see what people are searching, see volume of search. We can see where you're missing out and where your competitors are doing better. So what is it you are doing as a business to be better than the competition? What's your superior offer for your market? What are you doing?
Yes. And do you find that people are inquiring about specific services, like they know what they want already, or are they just inquiring saying, I just need more customers?
Yeah, mixed bag, man. A lot of people are coming through with very specific aims, aiming for just specific services we offer, which makes sense, right? And it's consumer behavior, and I talk about this to a lot of customers as well. If you want to provide a service to somebody and your main channel of getting that service is through your website, but you do not have the content that outlines that service, then good luck to you, right? It's not going to happen. You need to have that information in front of people. And the same thing for us. So because we've got very well listed, very well ranked and really good information around our core services, you find that, a lot of people will come through seeking Google ads, management, Facebook ads, services, whatever it might be. But then at the same time, there's a lot of people that are looking just to find out more, to get information, maybe a little education piece, ask our opinion on what is the best next step for them.
Yeah, cool. Excellent. So have you found that those types of inquiries have changed much over the years, or is it generally the same sort of thing? Is there anything emerging, anything that you're working on that you're developing at the moment?
Yes, I think the way that, again, consumer behaviour is such that it's not too different today than it was a year ago or 5 years ago. People still tend to inquire in the same way, a range of different buckets about what people are looking for.
Is that changing with, the amount of time spent on the internet and how our interactions in the digital landscape inform our decision-making when buying?
Yeah, I mean, definitely to some extent. You do still have those people that are just looking for information, just looking to find out more, just want to have a conversation with somebody. But at the same time, as the content on the internet grows, from our experience as well, right, as our blogs and articles and the information that we put out there, as that grows and gets more informative, as we build our authority, you do find that there are more people that are more informed, who are more understanding of exactly what they need and just don't have the time themselves or the motivation to get that, that learning or whatever, right? And this is a really deep industry, and in terms of the amount of information that's out there, it's virtually limitless.
It's a web.
I think one of the big things
growing.
that's changed is, how long has Facebook advertising been around for now?
20 years, about there.
Yeah, 2007.
In terms of businesses relying on Facebook advertising to grow their business, a decade?
Yes.
A decade? That's a long time.
Well, the consumer behaviour at first, when I remember seeing ads on Facebook and thinking, what are you doing on my newsfeed? You know what I mean? Like, I was offended that there was ads now in my newsfeed. I'm trying to socialise and look at my friends' posts. And not only was there no way I was clicking on the ad, there was definitely no way I was going to buy anything as a result of that ad. The people were not used to making buying decisions through the Facebook platform for quite some time. Probably also mainly because it didn't have any ads for a long time. I don't know how they monetized their whole program at that stage, but prior to ads, this is obviously now where they get the bulk of their revenue from. But yeah, I mean, now buying off Facebook is an everyday thing.
Yes. Exactly. So for businesses, they know Facebook. It's been around. They might have done it before. They might have had agencies, but they're also aware of their dependency on Facebook and Google.
Definitely.
And I know you've been speaking to a lot of clients about email marketing.
Yeah.
When was it? Facebook went down about 6 weeks ago, a couple of months
back,
ago.
Yeah.
And if you were so reliant on Facebook, it's like you made no sales.
Yes.
For 6 hours.
6 hours.
And so there's this. I think
everyone freaked out, right? The government came out and said, we need to make an Australian social media platform. This is going to ruin our economy.
Exactly. So people know they need to do that, but then what's the mix or the balance? And I think that's where what they're looking for is, I know I need to do Facebook, but what else is there? And that's where they look for the advice.
Yes.
And having your own channels. And there's only 2 channels you own. It's your email marketing and your website.
There's also the problem that businesses have. We've had people in here in this office crying because they've got to sack 20 salespeople because their ad account got disabled on Facebook. And
the great mystery of the ad account cancellation.
Yeah, the policies, Facebook policies, where for whatever reason you've offended our algorithm. You know what I mean? Like, you're out.
So sensitive.
Yeah. So yeah, definitely Facebook's taken off big time, right? But people are looking for alternatives.
Yeah, but a bit like how Starbucks has created an industry around coffee, right? Like they came in and they didn't do it best, but they did it biggest and first. It's how Facebook has gone, right? Yes. I don't think MySpace particularly monetized itself. No. Maybe, I don't know.
Evidently not as well as they should have.
Could have done better.
Rest in peace, Tom.
Yes.
I think Tom's okay. I think he sold for a couple $1 billion.
He's got more friends than anyone.
Yeah, he's got a good Instagram account now, just photography in Fiji. But yeah, just like that, Facebook has created this industry so that other social media they've got the blueprint, right? And it doesn't have to be just Facebook anymore. I mean, Snapchat has kind of come and gone. Vine's dead, but Twitter still hangs around. TikTok's out there. Pinterest goes off. Sort of the dark horse of the social media game. So there's other options out there as well. But Ilan, as you say, you only own one channel, one market, and that's your email database. So, and I've said this a lot recently, Facebook, Google, Amazon, you think that these guys are social media networks. You think they're a search engine. You think that it's an online e-commerce store. But what they really are, the value in their business and the reason their share prices are so high is the customer data that they have. The information on you, me, and virtually everybody on the planet is what makes them money.
It's
and
where
their
the power
ability,
is. Yep.
the power. It's their ability to monetize that captured market, that owned resource that they have.
Yes. That's the most valuable asset that they can own, right? Any business can own.
I think that's what every business should be focusing on.
Yes.
Ads is important to getting people to your site. Your site is important to converting that traffic.
Yep.
But your email marketing database is your most valuable resource.
Look, there's campaigns that we've run for big business in the past that demonstrates the fact that big businesses know this. We did a Win an Outback campaign for Subaru, and they gave an Outback away and spent huge amounts of money on collecting people's details through a landing page. So, the hundreds of thousands of dollars that went into promoting that campaign, plus giving away a car at the end of it, just goes to show. And with all that they're left with is a huge database of people's details. That shows how much value companies like Subaru place in collecting consumer data. There's also there was Snooze, which was Find Your Comfortable. That was another campaign that we ran where they collected again a truckload of customer data with a free giveaway and a huge amount of ad spend. So bigger businesses understand the power of data. And that doesn't mean that you can only use it if you're a big business, right? I think that we've seen time and time again demonstrated, especially through the rise of e-commerce, the power of data through email marketing, lookalike audiences, retargeting. There's a lot that you can do. Text message campaigns, all of that stuff works really, really well.
I think, and the accessibility or the ease for a business to set up their email marketing when you've got programs like Klaviyo, which is like a Shopify for email marketing, which instantly integrates, brings all your data to one place. And there's no wonder that email's so powerful, besides the fact it doesn't cost you when you want to send emails. It costs you a small subscription fee, which is minor compared to the costs of having to pay every time you want to go in front of someone for Facebook or Google.
Yep.
That customer's giving you the email already. You're already down the funnel. They're already engaged with your brand.
Yes.
They already said, I'm happy to hear from you.
Yes.
And then you also have information on what they're interested in.
Yes.
Which means you can give them something that is meeting their needs. It's not about just sending them any products or sales. It's like, I see that you like this product, and I see other people who like this product buy this. We actually think you would really like that. And that's why
personalised advertising.
You can completely personalise it at scale, often automated.
Yep.
With some of the standard flows that you do set up. And that's why email tends to have the highest converting of any channel as well.
And it's obviously getting bigger and bigger because every single website almost that I visit now has a pop-up that says, hey, we'll give you something for free if you just give us your email, name and email, right? $20 off your next order or enter the draw to win $500 voucher or whatever else. So
do you think there should be a time limit on how long you spend on the website before they hit you with that? Because damn, I hate it.
That's a really, we've done a lot of tests like that. Often they're just instant. There's a lot of, you have to be very careful with how are you getting in the way of customers. I've come here to do something.
The life of pop-ups has been an interesting one it kind of exploded out onto the scene, and pop-ups was like pop-up mania. You know, everywhere you went, there was another pop-up coming up.
Yeah.
There's the enter the page pop-up. There's the
someone just bought in the corner pop-up. There's
or
the countdown
disengaged
timer.
people.
There's
You're about to leave.
I like the scroll up to the close the window button.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, hang on.
Yeah, don't
before
go.
you leave.
Right.
But what's
and then people got the shits with it, right?
Yeah.
They were like, this is
Yes.
just, and so pop-ups kind of went away for a while.
Ad blocker.
Yeah.
ad blocker. But what was also happening, people were just configuring, the software was fairly straightforward, and people were configuring these pop-ups just to show. Doesn't matter if it was desktop or mobile.
Yes.
And then mobile usage has been increasing, as we know.
Yep.
So we often check client sites, and we look at the mobile, and there's like 3 pop-ups covering
Yeah.
the
The
CTA,
actual site,
the things
right?
that the customer have come to do. And I
Yep.
kind of always like to use like a real world analogy. Like imagine going into a store
Yes.
and people just jump out, salespeople just jump out with big posters in front of you and just trying to grab something
Yes.
off the shelf. But if you show something that say, hey, here's a $20 discount off what you buy today. Okay, that's good.
Yes.
But coming back to what's available to people now at extremely low cost relative to 5-10 years ago, you can A/B test all this stuff. You can decide how long the pop-up shows and show 5 seconds to 10 seconds. You can choose not to show it on certain URLs. You can choose not to show it to people who've come to your site before.
From
There are so
certain-
many different
yeah,
things that you can test to make sure you're showing it.
Even different traffic sources.
The right-
you can
exact
have,
traffic sources.
pop up specifically from
Yep.
visitors from Facebook
Yep.
or wherever else, Google, Instagram. So that is now re-emerged as a powerful way for people to collect data, right? That we're seeing that a lot. Yep. And then what about the high value content offers that you see on Facebook? They've been around for a while now. The free PDF downloads in exchange for your name and email. A lot of people use that now, right?
What do you guys think of that for e-commerce? It's not done a lot in e-commerce. It tends to be like get a gift voucher. It seems to be done a lot more for subscription or enterprise service-based.
businesses.
It's
Yep.
almost like e-commerce customers are there to buy, and the information just should be on a blog. It's not why do I need to get it down a PDF?
It's definitely more powerful for B2B.
Yep.
Because B2B consumers will be more willing to invest time and effort and energy and resources into learning, learning about ways that they can solve their problems.
Yep.
Whereas B2C, as we all know here, those decisions are often made more ad hoc, more quickly.
It tends to have the value, right? The
Yeah.
B2B is like, it could be 5, 10, 20,000.
Right.
It's like, I need to learn a lot
So
before I make this
That's
decision.
right. If I want a T-shirt or a spear gun or a rash guard or a candle or something like that, I'm not going to download a book and read about.
Because I can probably also find it elsewhere.
That's right.
Like I can YouTube, like all that. It's
Yeah.
on my Facebook probably because that's what my interests are.
But for higher ticket items, which generally tend to be for B2B anyway, you often don't get a lot of consumer items on e-commerce that are more than a couple of grand at the most. Would you agree?
Yep.
Yeah. So
I kind of think that's a missed market though, as well. I agree. Fundamentally with what you're saying, but if you break down the B2C, the business to customer sale, into quick transactions, potentially more impulse buy type scenario, right? Facebook and other social media, really good spot for that because you can put a lot of products in front of people, try and get in front of them with what they're interested in. We think you want to buy this. It's a price point that's not going to kill you. Just do it. And it's like, yeah, sweet, I'll do that. But when it's larger ticket items, and again, B2C, like think of big service-based businesses, kitchen renovations or bathroom renovations, big ticket items that have a big consideration. This is where leave behinds can come in and in a social media platform. I don't think it would work for Google, for example. I'm looking for a kitchen renovation company near me. Then you just want to be able to be found. You want to get that information, put a call in, get a quote, right? Nice and easy. But through social media, because it's not that ready to go, it's not got that intent layer, that's where leave behinds can actually start to really, really work well for your business. And information additions like,
When you say leave behinds, Joe, you're talking about like a PDF download. Yep.
Yeah, something you can get on email that you can, you're on the train, you're on your phone, you see a local kitchen reno business, like, I am interested in a kitchen reno. How did you know Facebook? That's pretty bloody cheeky. I will get that information. I'm not going to do it right now. I'm on my way to work. It's not something I'm thinking about. But then when you're at home, Saturday night, you're like, oh, yeah, hang on a minute. I've just seen a retargeting ad for that thing that I downloaded. I'll go and look it up. Let me see what Bob the Builder is doing about kitchen renovations at the moment. Has he got a finance deal? Is he doing his COVID safe protocols? What does reviews look like? You know, it's a really good first step for that type of business, I think.
Definitely. There's also ways that you can build an audience, even if they don't open the PDF, right? Which we know from running these kind of high value content offers that you kind of get a conversion rate of people who actually click on the link to download the PDF that might be anywhere from 40% to 90%. You know, so it often can feel like a bit of a waste of time and money when you see that. Let's say, you know, you're paying $5 per download. 100 people have downloaded it, but only 40 or 50 people clicked on the link to read the PDF. Another thing that's missing out of that is, again, the data. So what happens when you create a high-value content offer? Anyone that takes interest in that high-value content offer, whether it's a report, white paper, ebook, whatever it might be, them having shown an interest in that...
Someone's got a good offer.
It's an emergency. There's urgency for you. Anyone who's shown an interest in that high value content offer is qualified in some sense, right? So, for example, what's going on here, guys? Is hand gestures,
I just had
secrets.
When you said urgency and emergency, I think that's a good combination of words. It's an urgency emergency. Let's write it down.
Well, that's that creative side, right? Then you've got what you've done is you've qualified every single email that you've got just collected. Those 100 people are people that are interested in that high value content offer. Now, whether they open the PDF or not does not necessarily matter, because you can then obviously send follow-up emails to that list, make a lookalike audience. And that lookalike audience of people, let's say you're running a candle business and you run a high value content offer that's like five ways to make the most beautiful candles, in minutes, whatever it might be. Anyone who downloads that is obviously potentially interested in making candles or knows someone who is. So that list of emails that you've now got, you can plug into Facebook and create a lookalike audience, or TikTok or Instagram or any of the other platforms out there. And that lookalike audience will be way more accurate and qualified than anything you can come up with inside the Facebook ad manager. So if you go into the Facebook ad manager and you say, I want to target people who are interested in candles or candle making, that's all you're doing there is limiting the amount of people Facebook can show their ads to based on what Facebook thinks about whether or not they're interested in candles. But if you've got a list of people who have downloaded a book that talks about candle making, that's more accurate. It's always going to be a way more accurate audience. So the high value content offer thing works, man. You know,
and there's a few other tools. As you said, it's kind of depending on the funnel, the customer experience. It's maybe not B2C or B2B. It's just how big is the purchase I need to make and how much information do I need. Yeah. There's the PDF. There's just sign up to the newsletter.
Yep.
So that is probably more the e-commerce spin, where rather than a one-off PDF, it's sign off PDF.
Service-based businesses do a lot of
the newsletter as well.
Yeah.
And then there's just the discount code, which works.
Yep.
One we see work really well to get the data, but also to encourage a purchase is $10, $20 voucher with a time limit on it. Yes. So they
urgency.
Put the urgency and send a reminder, completely automated. So a day before it expires, we send an email saying your code's about to expire. Use it tomorrow to get your discount. So that's another really powerful one. And another one we've used with some e-commerce clients lately is competitions. So that's another one without the discount, which works very well.
Yeah, cool.
I think the final one is just getting them to your blog, right? That's almost the other version of, instead of the PDF, it's the blog, which has the SEO benefits as well and continues to demonstrate your knowledge of...
Right, which is the best thing you can do. Yeah. You can, there's three things you can do as a business owner. You can talk about how good you are, which is the worst thing to do. You have to, at some point on your website, try to show that you're good at what you do.
I think that's the kind of some really good information that is ideal for website, is to talk about how good you are.
Yeah, well, there's that, but then it's important that you tick off the other two, which is have other people talk about how good you are.
Yes.
And then the third thing is to demonstrate how good you are. And you can do that through high-value content offers, blogging, podcasts, videos for your company videos and things like that. That's important as well, I think.
Just something I want to touch on that Ilan just mentioned as well, right? I love that there's an offer that's got urgency in terms of a time limit that is not 24 hours. Because the amount of emails that I open, having received them 2 days ago, it's like, you've got to come on and buy today. It's like, oh, well, that was pointless.
Too late.
Thanks, man. Amazon, whatever. But give me some time, you know? Like, I'm not going to open every single email immediately because that is not top of my list.
It's a really interesting insight. Actually, we've tested some subject lines where we talk about sale hours to go, and the open rates were quite low. We're going to do some similar testing over Black Friday, but I asked myself, why are the open rates low? It's because I'm probably at work. You send the email at 9 o'clock that said a few hours to go, and I've gotten home to check my email. I'm like, oh, I've missed it. No point opening that. So trying to get clever around those subject lines.
Yes.
Or urgency and making it easier for customers.
Given the a time period, which is
make
reasonable.
Make it reasonable.
Yeah, totally. So, what do you think are 3 tips that you can give business owners? Say we've got a business owner listening to this podcast right now, and they're thinking of redoing their website or running a promotion or something like that. Have you guys got anything that you might be able to suggest that you think would help them get better results? I'll start. No, I'm just kidding.
Very expansive question, Billy.
Yes.
Depends on the business.
Okay?
I'll kick off with. I've got way more than 3, but
Most important.
Let me have a crack. The first thing I would do to every customer is go on your site and make a purchase and go through the whole experience yourself, or get someone. If you can find some customers who've done it before, or friends or family, if you can get 5 or 10 people, even better. Get them to document it. Get them to give you suggestions on what you can improve. That's the first thing that I'll do. Often, especially small, medium business owners, there's so much to take care of. We know this. Operations, stock, customer service, product images. I haven't even got to the stuff you have to do for your website and marketing yet. That's a lot of things you need to look after, and a lot of those things get done quickly a couple of years ago, and then you take a look back and go through the journey, and often there's a lot of quick wins there that you can do. So that's one. Coming into Black Friday, that's a huge one. So make sure your pen and paper or a spreadsheet map out the days and what you're going to do.
Here's an example of how powerful that Black Friday thing is.
Yes.
Think about the business that you and I worked on last week, Ilan, that had been running a, a 20% off factory sale?
Yep.
20% off factory sale, been running for, about a month and getting a certain amount in sales. I suppose we can mention it. We haven't mentioned the business name. It was about $2,000 a day in sales. Same discount, 20%. Changed the language to Black Friday, 20% off store-wide rather than factory sale, 20% off store-wide. And his sales have virtually doubled. It's at about 3.5, nearly 4.
Yep. Makes sense.
So
reason to buy, not just an offer, but a reason to take you up on it.
Yes.
People at the moment, they see Black Friday sale, they go, that's relevant.
Yeah.
It's nearly Black Friday. It makes sense. Blah, 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 blah.
Well, the amount of e-com stores that you hit the store, right, and it's got the normal price slashed out and then a discount price.
Yes.
But if there is no reason, whether it's urgency or Black Friday or Christmas or otherwise, there's no reason why that is in place. And you just think that's the normal pricing and that they're just trying to get you over the line with a perceived discount.
Yeah.
But you know it's not a discount.
Yeah.
You know that's the actual price.
Right.
So what is it you can do to exactly that.
Make
Give
the
a
discount
reason.
relevant, right?
Relevant,
That's what it is. It's like people are expecting to see Black Friday sales.
Expect to see Black Friday, and they do expect that it is the biggest discount of the year, or thereabouts. And that's to your question earlier, Wade, about why it's become so big. It has become the thing from America, but more importantly, it's just become a big sales event that people are used to. So
People
it's now,
wait for.
They wait for it.
In other words,
People
if
kill
if you
for
don't-
it in America.
They stampedes.
If you don't run a Black Friday sale, people that would have otherwise bought from your store are going to be sitting tight, waiting for you to go on sale. Right,
Exactly.
we saw that the sales started to drop until we hit the Black Friday.
Exactly.
And I know people who've said, "I want to buy a new computer monitor," or I'm just waiting for the prices to drop for Christmas, for Black Friday, right? So
and you just touched on it. It's leading into Christmas, so it's now become the Christmas gift buying period. It's perfect timing. I can get something on special as a gift, and this year it's even more important because we're dealing with all these delivery issues. So people like, I really need to get my Christmas, if I'm buying online, which more and more people are, I need to get that done early. And why wouldn't I do it with Black Friday when I can get a special? And we had a chat with the client this morning. They're like, how important is it that I have Black Friday messaging? And unequivocally, it is critical because it's a shortcut for customers to know that they're going to get a great deal. So we all know this from digital marketing from just everybody's day, they've got to make thousands of decisions. And human nature, we're looking for shortcuts.
It's that nudge, right? It's
that
like,
nudge.
Don't if you're interested in this thing, now's the time to buy it.
Yeah, and
it's the Black Friday sale.
And if you want the cheapest price, it's going to be Black Friday. And it does need to be Black Friday, and it is. It is. You will find, like I know personally, I've got a list of things, and I just know that the best discounts are going to be
around the corner.
Are going to be around the corner.
Yep. Yeah, you were going to say something, Joe?
I was going to say the shipping delays for Christmas means that now's the perfect time.
Yeah,
and that urgency needs to be put into the site content, the messaging as well.
Isn't it funny how they turn it around? You can turn any negative situation into a positive, right?
Yes.
So Australia Post puts out a thing saying we're screwed basically. Here's a photo of one of our warehouses, and yes, you should be freaking out because we're not going to be able to deliver any of this stuff on time, right? That's what Australia Post basically said. And then the next thing you know, you see a couple of our clients, we were doing some ads. It's like, Australia Post is screwed. You're not going to get your presents by Christmas. Buy now,
Can I just give you some personal examples of how weird the shipping is at the moment and how bad it is for Australia Post? And this comes back to like going through your own shopping experience and seeing what your customers are going through. Shopped on Kmart like a month before Halloween. Wanted a whole lot of Halloween stuff. It was still locked down. Wanted delivery. Took 4 weeks for everything to arrive. Some of it arrived too late in about 5 different deliveries.
Yeah.
So first off, Kmart made no money because they had to pay for all these deliveries, and it took so long. About a week ago, ordered something from Europe. Arrived in 5 days. Yesterday, had to get a return from Amazon. This is probably one of the best shopping experiences I've ever had. Got my dad a blender. It broke. Spoke to Amazon on chat within 5 minutes. Do you want refund or replacement? I said, replacement. No worries. We'll get it to you today. Yep. Had the chat yesterday morning. Arrived last night. A brand new one. And free return. Yeah, that's a wow, right?
So that's Amazon's thing.
So what Amazon are doing is they're doing the Uber of deliveries. So there's these guys rocking up who are they've just got a hatchback.
Yes.
And they're just picking up a bit of extra cash on the side.
Mad.
And they've got the infrastructure to do that. And the one from Europe was a shipping company, and Australia Post is just struggling at the moment.
They're under the pump.
Yep.
Cool. So go through your website and make the purchase or make the inquiry if it's a service-based business. Actually go through the motions or get someone to go through the motions and just triple check that everything's
Number 2, these are quick wins. Number 2, Black Friday. The other one is spend a couple of hours just going back. If you've got some data on your sales, what has worked in the past. Just take that time. I think there's so much doing for a small business owner. I've just got to keep things going.
Putting out fires.
Putting out fires, doing the next thing to keep the growth going.
Yep.
But if you can just carve out a bit of time to look at what's worked. What happened last time I did 20%? Was it a particular product?
Yes.
Was it a particular timing? Because you will find, like doing the customer experience, a few nuggets of gold, which you can see it worked, and then just straight away put that into your plans for the holiday season.
Cool. Joe, what would you suggest, my friend?
So many things. Alana, I really like your suggestions. They're very good.
They were good.
I'd like to say the same.
Yeah.
I guess there's a few things I'd probably want to go back to. Again, going back to your customers' data and what it is that has worked for in the past, but also what was your best customer? What did they look like? Who is that top 5% or 20% of people? And what is it that is differentiating them from the rest of your customers? Why did these people buy more? What was it about that particular group? Is it a certain demographic? Is it a certain gender or age range or income bracket or area of the country or what? Like, find out more information and really, really drill down on that. Would be a good tip. Outside of that, I would love to spend some time looking at your competitors and doing some searches around what you do and looking at other ads, seeing what those offers look like, seeing what their ad copy looks like.
Subscribe to every single one of them. Read their emails.
Yes.
Yeah.
Check out the Facebook ads library and see what their ads are doing online. See how good their creatives are. See how good their ad copy is. Like, have a look around at your market. Are people selling the same thing for cheaper? Because that's almost a surefire way to ensure that you're going to not do great, right? Like, if it's easy to go on Google and find the same product for less money, I'm probably going to buy it elsewhere.
That's what we do.
Yeah.
We love a bargain.
Yeah.
You spend so much. It's such a simple way to check where you stand. Checking your competitors for 2 reasons. If you check 4 or 5 competitors and you see them all kind of talking about your product or your customer need or your industry in
a
some
certain
way, there's probably something there where they've all come to the same conclusion around why.
Around channeling demand.
Yeah, and it doesn't tend to be about the product, it's about the customer need and that sector, right? That we talk about clothing or diet solutions or whatever it is in a certain way. And if you're not doing that, you might want to test trying that out. And the other thing, exactly what you said, your customers are doing it. Your customers are there with 6 Chrome tabs open, checking all the pricing.
Just for a real good real world example, I had a lead recently from a guy who sold a bath toy, specific bath toy. Just kind of cool.
I need one of those.
But it was
what is it?
Little frog. It's a little automated frog
that
that vibrates and has a little waterfall coming out the top of it. It's pretty cute. It's pretty cool.
That's cool. Get it from my niece and nephew, man.
Yeah, but I want one for me.
Yeah.
I grabbed the product title.
Yeah.
Punched it into Google and found immediately that above him organically was another. This was a single product website, right? So there was another website that sold many more products, but sold this specific product with his brand name on it for $2 less.
Right.
So right out the gate,
Wow.
Don't know.
Or by him selling it to them at wholesale prices.
Yes.
Without rules and restrictions on them being able to what price they have to sell it at. So he's priced himself out of the market. That happens. You see that happen with a lot of brands and a lot of businesses. They especially also, if you're running an e-commerce business and you're selling products and you've got an eBay channel and your products are cheaper on eBay than they are on your website, that's a bad thing, right? Like it just affects your brand. People are aware of the fact that you're trying to basically rip them off or get more money out of them than is otherwise necessary because people are able to sell the same thing on eBay for less. And then you've also got issues with resellers, of course. They get overstock, they mark down their products, and again, it damages your brand because people go to the brand website expecting to get the best deal. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And if they don't, if they're able to find it somewhere else cheaper, you become the bad guy. You know what I mean? You're trying to rip them off, basically.
There's a real psychological issue there, or it could be in your favor, right? But the congruency, the consistency of your brand online, if it's able to be able to find your products cheaper elsewhere, or the way that you're laying out your site design is different from page to page, or all these confusing user experiences, they're all just roadblocks to getting people to actually buy from you.
Yes,
if you make everything smooth and consistent and easy. And just make it really clear in terms of what you want your customer to do, what they need to do to just get over the line. You're going to find that more often they're going to do it.
Yes.
People want to buy.
Yeah.
I've done it myself, right? I get distracted. Kids come home not my kids, but whatever.
People's kids often come home.
There are other humans and they're in my space and suddenly I'm distracted. But you get distracted, right? It's easy. It's human nature. We've got a 17-second attention span. So you need to just get in front of that attention as quickly as possible and making things smooth and easy is a really good way to do that.
Right. Capitalizing on that very, very limited amount of attention you're ever going to get on the internet.
Yes.
Right? You've got to get the attention and then you've got to realize that you're only going to get it for a very short period of time. You've got the more roadblocks and hurdles. I agree with you, Joe. The cognitive load. Ilan's talked with us before about heuristic analysis, heuristic solutions on websites. People have complicated problems they're trying to solve, and if you can offer them a simple way to do that, it's gonna be a good thing.
Well, I've been promoting this quite a lot recently. Well, I haven't used the word heuristic analysis, but it's confusing. It is a good word, yeah. But
what does it mean?
Well, what it means is I'm smarter than you.
Cool.
What it plays out in practice is that you're showing people all the issues that they think about, that they think might happen.
Yeah.
Right. Slow shipping. It's going to be dispatched from China, or I'm never going to get a refund if it's not very good.
Yep.
Right. So all of these things, and by just having a few key, it can be icons. It can be something as simple as
shortcuts.
clear.
Shortcuts. Heuristic is like shortcuts to solve problems.
Yes.
Yeah.
Quickly.
Yeah.
It might not be the best outcome, but it's going to get me as close as possible faster.
Yeah.
So thank God they made a really short word for
I know.
several sentences.
I know.
It's one of my favorites, man. Along with propagating.
Can you spell that?
No. Not a chance.
Can you define it?
I can mush it into the keypad closely enough so that Google will auto-spell it for me. How's that?
Monkey see, monkey do.
Yeah, cool. So, Joe, we've got, if we just go back, the first one was looking at what's worked in the past.
Identifying your best customer.
Identifying your best customer.
Yeah.
Definitely.
And why.
Cool. Yeah, yeah.
And then targeting that ideal customer going forward.
Yeah, yeah. And looking at your competitors.
And looking at your
Some
competitors.
good tips there, man. That's gold. That's important. You know, I think as a business owner, you're in a marketplace. And if you can imagine that, you know, you're in a virtual, literal marketplace, people are walking around this marketplace and you've got a stand there. And if you've got a stand there that's selling something for twice as much for the same thing as the guy next to you,
Yes.
you're not going to sell anything, right? So you need to be looking around and seeing what marketplace you're in.
And I like those tips because they're just really easy to do, right?
Right.
I can do them
Simple,
today,
straightforward,
quickly.
take a short period of time.
Yep.
What about you, Wade, for video? Let's say I'm a business owner and I'm out there, I'm thinking I'm going to make some videos for my business.
Think outside the box.
Cool.
I feel like the Australian market in general and Australasia is very conservative.
Yes.
And as you
Our
alluded-
ads are boring.
yeah,
I know
absolutely.
that much.
As you
They're
alluded
horrible.
to before, you've got
Yeah.
15 seconds or less, probably less, especially for my demographic,
Yep.
to grab someone's attention.
Yes.
So you need to do something that grabs that attention.
Yes.
What are we going to do? Well, we could do the old traditional method of, you know, show the product, have an experience over. But why not something totally different where it's a viral challenge that you set up? You know, who knows where that can go? The power of social media is incredible. So I would say think outside the box, and it doesn't necessarily have to be a literal ad, you know. We don't need to get tied down into this traditional structure of ads.
Yes.
It's a totally different landscape.
It is a different... Yes, Joe?
I'd really want to add on to that. Yeah, I so much of what even we do, even today, right, is focused on doing the ad and then having a call to action. Right? Here's what it is. Here's what's great. Call to action. But people know that it's an ad. I don't think you need to all the time. I mean, it certainly has a place, right? And majority of the time, yeah, for sure. But I don't think we always need to be so overt with exactly what we're trying to do here. Like,
Yes.
it's very obvious if you're promoting a surfboard. You've got a dude who's on a surfboard with an ad with a tile on Facebook that says sponsored in the corner. You know this is an ad.
Yeah.
You know what you're trying to get out of me.
Australia or something.
Yeah.
They know that Facebook page is for a business who sells surfboards,
Yeah.
right? You don't need to say we sell surfboards, click here, although making it obvious. So it's an interesting thing. We have done some testing around this. It depends on the product itself, how differentiated it is from your typical commoditized product. If you've just got a surfboard that people can surf on and people know what surfboards are, outlining the features and benefits can help because you need to try to show how your product is not different. It's a surfboard, right? But how in some ways it's better than other surfboards.
Well, are we not selling feelings?
Yeah, the
experiences.
benefits and
Yeah,
Yeah.
so there's that's good, right? So you've got features and benefits, and then you've got the emotion, right?
Well, I think actually, sorry to interrupt. It's almost benefits the bridge to
Yes.
the bridge between the two. So there's features is like the surfboard
Yes,
is made
of-
using recycled goods,
Yeah.
and then the benefit is you're helping the environment. And
Yes.
the emotion is that my consumption and when I'm spending my money is not doing damage.
yes.
In a world where there's a lot of damage being
Right.
done.
Yeah, definitely. So the rule of thumb with this, I've done some reading on it, and I don't know if I entirely agree with the generally accepted rule of thumb. But when you've got a commoditized product, something that people know exactly what it is as soon as they lay their eyes on it, outlining features and benefits is important. When you've got a brand new product to market, something that, and this goes back to also what platforms are best to advertise on. If you've got something that someone's never heard of before, like for example, you've got a different type of wetsuit that's that keeps people warmer and it's thinner or something like that. It's very
Like shark skin?
You like shark skin? Yeah, you got me. Yeah, like shark skin.
Name drop.
Yeah. Then he'll be on here soon. By
Yes.
the way, he said
Yes.
he's happy for me to call him in. Shark Skin, for the listeners out there, is a client of ours, been with us for a couple of years, and he's just smashing it. Like literally, his guys can't even make this stuff quickly enough. So you think we should call him in now?
No, hit us with one of the sample buttons, a little round of
cheer.
applause or
He's
something. Come on.
smashing it, mate. He's smashing it. Yeah, I don't know why I put the laughter in there. Anyway, so
Do you know what each of those buttons
Probably
does?
just
Not
giving
yet.
yourself a laugh.
Yeah, I just experiment a little bit with them from time to time for a bit of fun. But if you've got a differentiated product, something someone's never heard of before, you have to use social media. You have to use something where you can get your offer. It doesn't have to be a product. It can be an offer, something that's different in front of people because they're not going to be searching for it, right? We've got our e-commerce growth hack pack solution that we're promoting at the moment that's going gangbusters. And the reason why we have to use social media for that is because people aren't typing in agency that does everything for e-commerce, right? They're typing in Facebook ads for e-commerce or TikTok ads for e-commerce or Google ads or, email marketing. They're kind of ticking them off one by one, whereas we've come up with a solution that's differentiated. No one else does this that I've been able to find. And so we have to promote it on social media and get in front of people's faces despite them not searching. Whereas if you've got something like a surfboard or, a skateboard or a T-shirt or a hat or whatever it might be.
Proprietary wetsuit technology.
Yeah, so you can then use Google search ads and just make sure that your offer is the best by outlining features and benefits. It's very hard to portray emotion in Google search, right? You've got 60 characters and 150 characters thereabouts in the description. It's hard to portray emotion in such a small snippet. So you really do need to figure out what kind of a feature or benefit is going to differentiate your product in any way possible for Google search. But how did we get onto this? Where the hell have I gone? Have I gone down some sort of rabbit hole right now that I can't
I was
dig myself
talking
back
about
out of?
thinking outside of the box. When
Yes.
Right.
And I had a question for Wade, actually, around... So small, medium business owner, you want to get started. You're not going to have the budget for full, big production and of equipment. What are some tips for like a small, medium business owner that maybe they can just use their phone to just experiment and try out with video?
Key is there's two things, lighting and sound. Sound is probably more important than lighting because people will watch a terrible image as long as the sound's good. But if something's out of sync or it's crackly or you can't hear it, turning it off. So make sure that your audio is good. Don't cover the mic on your smartphone. If you can, put a sock over the end.
Can you just speak into the mic there, Wade?
Yeah, basically. All this talk about mic and sound, and I'm kooky. You can even put like a sock over the mic to cut down wind.
Really?
Just simple tips like that.
Get rid of the pops.
Exactly. I mean, especially if you're shooting outside. Natural light's really good to start off with before you start introducing other light sources. I think that, it's something we interact with on a daily basis and you can see it automatically, on the screen, what it's going to do. So sound, lighting, and the last thing I would probably mention is composition. There's a thing called rule of thirds. It's a very basic foundational idea based in photography and videography where the frame is split into thirds, both vertically and horizontally. And basically those lines, if you'll see here, where's the camera?
Yeah, you actually showed me. Like if you buy the...
So see where my hand is here, where our eye line is, that's where our eye... This is where our eyes train to look.
Yeah.
It's the most pleasing.
Yes.
So you have that line, you always want to keep a bit of headroom.
Yes.
And, if you're shooting something that is landscape, for instance, you see how Joe here on the screen is, he's not dead center, he's slightly off center. That just having that space around him rather than crowding him in the frame really helps.
That was interesting when you told me about that because I've just always thought that you should be directly in the middle of like the shot.
That's
right?
the Kubrick
That is
special.
interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kubrick special?
Yeah, centerist filmmaking.
Yeah,
You'll
right.
see a lot of his shots, the subject is always in the center of the frame.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
So you can break the rules,
Yep.
but if you're just starting out, rule of thirds, lighting, sound.
Perfect.
And just give it a
Great
go.
advice.
And,
Yeah,
out, and
definitely.
think
Just get
out of the
started,
box.
right? It doesn't have to be...
Don't
doesn't
be
have
boring.
To be perfect. You
Don't be
kind of
boring.
You learn by doing.
Yeah, absolutely. And footage, you can never have enough footage.
Yeah, cool.
Coverage is important. If you're shooting a documentary, you usually have 100 minutes of footage to 1 minute of screen time.
Wow.
Yes, and that's being somewhat like conservative. You can definitely pump that number up.
I was watching David Attenborough on the weekend and the footage is just amazing in that thing. But now that you say
Next level. They actually do documentaries about how they make the documentaries.
Which
It's-
meta.
Yeah, they sit in like swamps for days.
it's just nuts
to get a
those
20
guys, right?
second
Yeah,
stalk taking off, or whatever.
yeah,
Crazy.
Yeah.
which just makes the most beautiful documentaries, right? But yeah, to imagine how many hours of footage they must have to come up with something like that is nuts.
And just don't be scared. Just do it.
Yeah.
Just as you said, Ilan, just do it. You know, you can cut it on your iPhone
Yep.
or in the app on TikTok, and then boom, you're ready to go.
Yep.
Like if you know your way around a smartphone, you are a director, you're
Yes.
a producer, you're an actor. You've got all the tools.
Have a look at the link I emailed you, Wade, for video. So, guys, for anyone that's listening, we've obviously Australian Internet Advertising's moved office. We're in a massive office now. We've got videography capabilities. We've got motion graphics, and you might ask yourself why we're doing this. And the reason why we're doing this is because this is the way social media, especially advertising, is going. You need to be promoting video content on social media. You've got the new, relatively new UGC style ads that
What's UGC stand for?
user generated content. So it's realistic, authentic, and believable content of people trying out your products or services. You can also use UGC for services, and they're just doing like a selfie style video, promoting your products through these realistic looking testimonials of your products.
Yeah.
So rather than like a really well designed static image promoting your products or an animated kind of thing, off Canva, a lot of people have been doing them for a long time now. Having an actual real person standing there talking about having used your products or demonstrating how to use it has proven to be exponentially more powerful, much higher return on ad spends. So that, along with also other types of video footage, is now crucial for our clients to be able to get the best possible results that they can get.
An image tells 1,000 words, no?
Yeah, that's right. And people love consuming video on smartphones. Did you not get the email?
No.
Oh, okay, cool. We'll bring that up next time.
Next time.
I dropped the ball there. It's got to be in here somewhere. Give me a sec.
All right, Joe, take over.
Excellent.
Billy's searching.
We're touching on a few of these things, really. I mean, Ilan, you asked what a business owner can do with their smartphone, and Wade, you've given some really good tips in terms of what it is you want to be doing, but there are no wrong answers. You should be getting your face in front of your customers. You should be humanizing your business through your social media posting, not your ads. Absolutely not, maybe, whatever. But for your posting, that's what that should be doing. You don't want to be spruiking and promoting your business. You just want to be giving people a bit of behind-the-scenes information. And that's a really, easily accessible thing today with smartphones, with quick videos, quickly uploading it to your Facebook or your Instagram page, just getting it up there. And at the same time, when you get comfortable with it, you can start to, sit there with your recently shipped products in your warehouse and say, hey guys, we've just got all these things in. Really looking forward to getting them out on the store and getting them into your hands, and start doing a little bit of like soft promotion. And then, evolve what you're doing as well, I think is all really, really good options for every business owner out there. Get your friends and family to do video reviews of your stuff as well, right? Start making ads that don't look like ads. These are user-generated content, UGC ads. They do not look like ads, but we know that social proof reviews and testimonials are some of the most valuable.
There really is no more powerful. Like I've said this to Ilan, because Ilan's the marketing genius around here, having done marketing at university.
In a room full of geniuses, by the way.
University? Right.
But, I feel strongly about the fact that over the 10 years of running different ads to different landing pages, if you do nothing else, you can have a crappy looking website, you can have no, credibility. You can have you can have crappy calls to action. You can have, terribly written content. You can have a slow loading website. You can have all sorts of problems. But if you've got a page with 10, 20, 50 people, videos of people saying how awesome your products or services are,
Yes.
you're 90% of the way there. You're going to get sales.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that's really the most important thing. Other than, there's that, and then also obviously demonstrating. I mean, in a sense, that kind of, if they're people using the product, they're demonstrating the product, right? But yeah, so I think that I've always felt very strongly about social proof being the most powerful persuasion marketing tool.
It defers all those other issues, right?
Yeah.
All that user experience or usability, everything goes away when your only motivation is to get that thing in your hand.
Yes.
Right? If you've seen, like you say, seen all the videos and people are using it, they're so happy.
It's the old thing too, right? Like if you walk down a strip and there's 10 restaurants there and one of them has a queue out the door
Yes.
and the other ones are empty, despite you being able to get your dinner probably an hour and a half earlier.
Yes.
And,
Could be
whatever.
just as good. Might even be better.
Might even be better.
Probably won't.
What are you going to do? And time again,
Follow the crowd.
yeah, research has shown that you're going to be going, why has that restaurant got that queue out that door? Right? Like, that must be the best one. I'm going to queue up there and get what they've got.
I literally do that on the regular with coffee shops.
It's FOMO. You know what I mean, I guess. Yeah, you do that with coffee shops, right?
Every time. If there's an empty coffee shop and then 2 doors down there's a much busier one,
Yes.
I'm going to the busier one.
Yeah, man.
It's not about the experience. It's not about getting that thing
It's
quickly
because
anymore.
they've obviously got better coffee.
Better coffee.
And you don't want to be the guy that gets the coffee that's not as good as everyone else's coffee. You know what I mean? It's like that's I think it's just the fear of missing out.
Just want good coffee, man.
Well, going back to what you said also, content, it's not about the content of the content. You just need content. Like, it doesn't have to be about the product. It does, as long as it's related to your brand.
Yeah.
And you're continually uploading things.
Yeah, well,
you're grabbing attention. That's the key.
You don't exactly, man. This is something that people on social media that have done really well have known for a long time now. Is that content when you're creating content, it only has to be even just remotely related to the goods or services that you're promoting. And it doesn't have to actually have the call to action in it. So what's going on, Wade? You fixing one of the cameras? He's trying to act like everything's cool.
It doesn't have to be perfect either, right? There's a strong good enough factor.
Yes.
And if you've got one good enough ad, then that's okay. But by the time you've been doing this, long enough and you've got 100 good enough ads, you've now got a really good resource in terms of getting people traffic to your site or interested parties to come and find out more.
Yes.
You've got a really good resource to making that happen.
Yeah. Did you get that thing up, Wade, that email I sent you?
I certainly did. Let's
Cool.
have a look. So we've got the top video marketing statistics of 2021.
Just
explained.
scroll down a bit because
Yeah.
there's some stats there that are just mind-blowing.
Get to the stats. Okay. Is it in dot point form here?
Yeah.
Okay. What do you want to discuss about the stats?
1/3 of all online activity is spent watching the video.
Yep. How many hours does the average Aussie spend watching video? I think that might be the headline. I'll send it to you, Ilan. You can have a look.
I'm just thinking the other thing that happens with this is the social media algorithms. I mean, the TikTok by nature is video, but Facebook and Instagram is a mix.
Yes.
The algorithms see people enjoying videos and just start showing.
Yes.
I mean,
More
we're
videos,
spending,
right?
we're
So it's
spending
just becoming-
roughly 8 hours a day on
Yep.
the internet.
8 hours a day on the internet, including video on your landing page, can boost your conversion rate by up to 80%. To watch every video that will be crossing global IP networks in 1 month in 2021, you will need to spend a full 5 million years.
Isn't there something like a few years
5
ago?
million years of video content.
A few years ago, YouTube was getting something like
it's crazy.
24 hours of video content uploaded every second.
Yeah, that's nuts.
Yes.
Isn't that crazy?
Wow.
I mean, obviously it works. 85% of businesses use video as a marketing tool. So if you're not, you're missing out, basically.
Join the circus.
Yeah, that's right. There's just some crazy stats in there, right? Content, 68% of people will watch a full video if it's a minute long or less. Heaps of stats here, guys. We'll upload it with the podcast.
Link it up.
There'll be a link in the comments. Cool. So I think that probably just about wraps it up. Guys, if you've got any questions out there, you're a business owner and you're looking for answers to questions, you want to hear us discuss a specific topic, shoot it through in the comments, send us an email, give us a ring, Australian Internet Advertising. This podcast has been set up for you. So we want to answer your questions. We want to help you grow your businesses. We want to help you understand more about the jungle of digital marketing. Avoid those potholes. You know, some of them can be very expensive. I've heard some horror stories. We're here for you. Feel free to let us know what you want us to talk about. Other than that, we're going to have experts coming in. We're going to be speaking to clients who have done well through e-commerce or service-based businesses and grown their sales, smashed their records, and how they've done it. So stay tuned.
Let's get famous.
Let's get famous. That's it.
Cut.
Peace. Did you cut it out?
I haven't cut it yet.
All right. See ya. Peace.
Ciao.
Are we
Bye.
still here? Bye.
Bye-bye.
Pulse on Demand by Australian Internet Advertising.